Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Beauty Bears All podcast. I know it's been a little bit. Forgive me, I was traveling and lots of things going on. I lost my little Pomeranian. I don't know if I shared that on the last podcast. I'm not sure. But grieving and going through that, just a lot of stuff going on. And so, welcome back. We're here. And tonight we're going to talk about beauty trends, what's worth it and what's not really, because there's so much out there in the industry. Like, how do we know what we should be spending our money on, investing in, and what should we just stay away from, right? Why does this say my name and then it disappears? Anyway, so Beauty Bears All with your host, Emily Styles. Welcome back, everybody. Hope this is cozy and comfy for you because it's cozy and comfy for me. I'm on my sofa, relaxing. We're just chilling and having a conversation, enjoying our time here. And I'm just gonna go through the different things. We're gonna talk about skincare, nails, hair, things that are worth the investment and things that are not, right? So let's talk skincare, but not just products, but treatments as well. Because right now, people are investing more into their skin professionally, not just at home. Treatments like microneedling, chemical peels, and even light Botox are becoming more normalized, and when done correctly, can be beautiful. Microneedling, especially PRP, right? I was going to say PCP. PRP, what people call the vampire facial. So that's not new because Kim Kardashian was doing that a while back, and people were like, oh my gosh, what is she doing? But the PRP is huge right now because it focuses on collagen and long-term skin health and texture, right? Because it helps with all of that. And you have brands like SkinCeuticals, The Ordinary, and medical grade lines like Obagi, where people are learning to actually treat their skin instead of just masking the issues. So another trend I'm seeing that I respect is I wrote all these things down to share and not miss a beat or skip a beat. Skin barrier repair. Less active, more hydrating, things like hyaluronic acid, ceramides, simple cleansers, brands like La Roche-Posay, um, are really doing well in that space. And it's more, um, for the mature approach to skincare. So I'm going to be 43. And so as I've been aging and I'm like, whoa, I don't like this little line and all that, but I'm really not ready for Botox. Although I know they recommend you doing that much younger, but that's not really something that I'm well versed in. And you hear things about side effects, or if the injection site isn't done well, you'll have a droopy eye, or your eyebrow will be changed significantly. And I'm just not sure that I'm comfortable playing with my face just yet. Although I was looking into, I believe it's called the string facial. And I mean, not a facial, it's a string facelift. And they literally put a string in the sides of your face and they pull your skin back. It's really neat to see. There's this young professional that's been doing them out of Cranford, New Jersey and Westfield, New Jersey. I forget the name of the business, but if I get a chance, if anybody's interested, I will try to include it either under here when this podcast is up and posted, or I'll share it in another segment where I can give you guys the tea for anybody who lives in New Jersey, New York, or willing to come and travel. Like that looks so cool. But again, you need to know who the person is that's going to be doing these treatments because our face is this is our billboard here. If you don't know what you're doing and you go to the wrong professional and they don't know what they're doing, you can have permanent repercussions. So it's really important to do your research and things. But like, let's continue talking about this Botox, right? But here's where I'm going to challenge the industry a little, right? Because if you do Botox too early, fillers without education, layering treatments just because it's trending, that's where things start to look unnatural, right? And I'm not against Botox, let's be clear, right? I said that before because I got a little ahead of myself. I knew that I had the content here to talk about for Botox, but kind of started a little prematurely here. But preventative Botox in your early 20s without understanding your facial structure or constantly chasing a snatched look, it can age you in a different way. Also, overdoing skincare, too many acids, too many serums, and too much mixing. Your skin needs consistency more than chaos. Not every viral routine is meant for you because TikTok is literally the marketing central for anything and everything under the sun. But they have all these products that promise to get rid of hyperpigmentation, to um, smooth out unwanted lines, fine lines, and wrinkles. And, some things from TikTok are great, right? Um, the Misha Cosmetics that I'm promoting from there is really great, right? It's something that Cardi B is also promoting, and I like it on my skin. As a matter of fact, that's what's on my skin right now. I have number 33 on, and then I have the e.l.f. Cosmetic cream blush combination with the bronzer and pretty decent. Don't look too crazy. And I use the Urban Decay, I want to say the hydrating primer. And that's what I use, right? Nothing crazy, nothing too much, but this is what I have going for me. Now, moving on from skincare, right? Because skincare is just a lot. So just be very careful what you buy online, right? Check the reviews. Sometimes you just go real quick, Google something, research it, and you'll find that there's a lot more disappointed people. And it's not like all the hype is just exactly that. It's just hype. So don't believe the hype and just do your research. Now, another space in the beauty industry that can't stop booming, right, is the nail industry. Nails right now are evolving. You're seeing a rise in BIAB, which is the builder gel, which is amazing for natural nail health, and it gives structure without the damage of traditional acrylics. Structured manicures, Russian manicures, those detailed cuticle focused services are trending because they last longer and they look cleaner. Brands like Apris Gel X are also huge right now. People love them because they give you length without the heaviness of acrylic. And then you have the clean girl nail aesthetic, short, glossy, neutral, very intentional. That look isn't going anywhere. And being that I'm a beauty educator as well, my students this week were working with Polygel, and they were asking us if that's something that we like, and I'll tell you what I like about it. I like that it doesn't have the strong acrylic scent. Acrylic is really, really harsh, and every time you go into a salon, you know they're using some kind of acrylic. As soon as you walk in, that smell just like hits you in the face. And that's the thing that I'm not too keen on with acrylic. I don't want to feel like I'm getting smacked in the face by all these scents. So the polygel is also nice because it doesn't have the same kind of fumes. But another thing that I love about it is that it's also workable, right? It's a combination of like an acrylic with a gel. So people who have already worked with gel, you know that the gel has this nice workable texture, and once you cure it under the lamp, that's it, it locks in place for the most part. And this product is opposite of acrylic because acrylic, once you put acrylic on, it starts to dry and cure. And sometimes in some nail salons, they'll stick you under the lamp, but really acrylic doesn't need to go under the lamp. It'll cure itself on its own. So while your hand is just hanging out and they're working on the other hand, your acrylic is drying. So the polygel is nice because you can keep molding it and fixing it and everything. And once you put that hand in that lamp, that gel lamp, that UV lamp, that's it. It's cured, right? But it's buildable too. So I'm pretty sure it's similar to what this trend is that, you can do more with it and they're more gentle on our nails and our nail bed. And let me tell you, I literally got back from vacation and I was traveling and my nails had gel over it. And gel, I have to tell you, gel on its own, like a gel manicure, is so damaging. I know there's this brand that came out. It's all over social media, and I wish I could give them the proper shout out. Um, because they're always sending me information. Let me see if I could find it. Nail. Mm, it might be called Nail Boo. Let me look it up real quick. I'm sorry, everybody. Nail Boo. Yes, okay. Nail Boo. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because I like to share what's healthy for your nails and alternatives to gel because I literally had to cut my nails down and I'm starting from scratch all over again. Nail Boo, it's literally spelled nail and then BOO together. It offers a popular beginner-friendly do-it-yourself dip powder system that delivers long-lasting 1 to 3 week manicures without a UV lamp. So there's mixed reviews on it, right? Because some people, it depends on what they're used to working with, the material wise, but it's supposed to be more gentle and safer for you. But again, everybody has to do their own research and their own, homework and see if it works, right? I haven't tried Nail Boo, but I will tell you I've used OPI, I've used SC Gel, I've used a bunch of the things, Sally Hansen that's on the market too. You can get that kind of anywhere. Harmon's was a big proponent and they were selling that big before Harmon shut down all the Harmon stores. But I love OPI and I love Essie, right? Because these are the brands that have been around forever, but they're not that kind to natural nails. So this is something to keep in mind, right? What's not translating well, I'll tell you, is when nails become more about photos than a lifestyle, right? Because you gotta be able to function. So these extremely long sets that don't function day to day or overly complicated design that lift quickly and damage the natural nails underneath, also poor application. It doesn't matter how trendy the nail is, if the foundation isn't done right, it shows. So healthy overhype always wins, right? So the woman that came in to teach our students this week, she says she does not do long nails, very, very long. Like she works with short and medium length. She prefers it. She said it's easier to work on and it's less time consuming, right? Those long nails, I mean, I've seen beautiful work, but these have to be nail sets that are in nail shows, nail art, because who is actually working and living and doing real life with these long, long nails? Like, who's actually living like this? I mean, I know that there are people that are out there that do very well with the long nails, got it, but I'm just like, I don't know if that's for me. Like that's just not my stilo. It's not my style, everybody. I'm Emily Styles, but those nails are not my style. I do like a medium length to short, even a very natural, right past this here, like that you can go like that on the table, but nothing where I can't clean the dishes, bring something and lift something heavy and do work. I need to work. But I have to say, I was teaching my students last week braiding, and I miss long nails for the purpose of braiding because I use my pinky nails for cornrow and for French braiding. So if you know, you know, instead of having to use your fingers and everything, it might not be the best thing or the best way, but it's really nice to part the hair. You just kind of slide and grab. It's like a tool within the hands. Whatever. Might not be the best thing to do, but it works really well. And having these little nubbies was very hard for me to grab hair and teach them how to do these different types of braids. But so let's continue, right? Because there are things that are trending. So let's talk about what is working. So right now there's this shift in the beauty industry right now towards subtle enhancements, things like brow lamination, laugh lifts, soft glam makeup, even body treatments like lymphatic drainage massage. Those are trending, right? Because you're helping get rid of things that are accumulated in our lymphatic system, and that's helping us lose weight, get healthy, all that good stuff, get rid of all the yucky. People still want to look elevated, right? But not unrecognizable. Even in eyelashes, we're seeing a move away from the heavy volume set into more of a wispy texture, more natural look. And that's what I like. I love a good lash set. So if any of you know me and you've seen me in person, lashes are the thing that I will continue to invest my money in. I should invest in a lash brand company, honestly, or create my own because I am obsessed. I love a good lash set. I don't like them overly done. I like something that looks like you, natural, don't want to look like Snuffleupagus. So yeah. And honestly, I love that. I love a more natural looking extension. It's safer, it's easier. You can clean your lashes every day, nice and easy, as opposed to these clumps and this craziness. My students, though, I see that that is still a trend for them. Less is not more with the youth, more is more with this generation, and that's okay, right? They're all adorable, they're cute kids and that's what they like, then so be it. For us women in our 30s, 40s, 50s, and up, we gotta go with what makes sense, right? 30s, you can probably still get away with a crazy volume set, but once you start getting into the 40s and up, you want something that looks like you, like you're not trying too hard, right? You're not trying to keep up with the trends and what everybody else is up to, but it brings the focus back to enhancing what's already there, which is what makeup and beauty should be in general, right? We shouldn't be so overdone to the point where we're unrecognizable. And a lot of the plastic surgery trends as well have left women getting lip fillers and injections that make them look like they have balloons for lips. It doesn't look natural. Some of it is overdone. And I noticed the people who do a little bit, it becomes an addiction. I hear that that's the same thing with tattoos. I wouldn't know. I don't have any tattoos. But I hear that that is a common thing that when people start getting cosmetic surgery, which is fine, I'm not knocking anybody because shoot, if I knew that I wouldn't die on that table, I'd be getting everything done, right? But I'm also nervous about what vanity can do if I just don't wake up from that table just because I wanted to get snatched, which I may still want to get snatched someday, but have to be very careful. We all have to do our homework, have to know who your surgeon is, what you're allergic to. Are you allergic to anesthesia? Do you have blood clots? Is that an issue in your genes, right? My niece didn't know she was allergic to anesthesia when giving birth, not even anything like cosmetic. So we have to be very careful with things. You might be allergic to Botox, to anything they put in your lips. You just don't know. And then there's no going back. And again, you don't want to live in fear, but you also want to be mindful and be prepared, be prepared for the consequences, right? God forbid. Um, what's not a good look? Let's get back to what's not a good look. We have What I'm seeing that's not a good look is overfilled faces, overdone lashes, brows that don't match the face, right? Sometimes people's eyebrows are way too thick or way too thin. Our arches, right? Like our arch here should be matching up with this. Certain parts of our face, if you Google and go online, you can figure out what eyebrow shape is appropriate. I'm not knocking people, just saying be mindful. Or people have black eyebrows that have been tattooed and they start looking gray or ashy. Like, touch that shit up. Excuse my French, but get that shit fixed. Go for the microblading and get some hair fibers put in there. Like, do something or use makeup to fix that. Because if you have blonde hair and your eyebrows look like you took a Sharpie to your face, no offense, but don't do that shit. All right, let's continue. So, there's a difference between enhancement and distortion. And sometimes the industry doesn't say that out loud, but I will. I will. I'll let you know respectfully. Also, trend chasing without education is a no. Just because the service is popular doesn't mean the person performing it is properly trained. That matters. Do your homework because at the end of the day, we're working on real people, real skin, real confidence, right? If someone does something and they're not licensed to do it, you're putting your hands, your face, your body in someone else's hands. And honestly, if something should happen to you, God forbid, with getting some of these services, you may have already signed the waiver. You may have signed that you can't sue if you're getting plastic surgery, cosmetic things done. You don't know. And you may not be able to wake up from that bed or wake up from that experience being who you were initially. So it's something that you should really do if you've done all your homework. And I wanna make sure that I really stress the fact that you should not go to anybody who is not licensed or someone that has a discount. I'm going to talk about somebody, a company, a plastic surgeon company that I follow. And this company is big, and I'm not going to put their information out there, but if you follow me, I also follow this company. And they're always having packages and promos and discounts. They have a few locations in New Jersey and New York, if that helps narrow it down, and lots of them in throughout all the states. They have them in Texas, in California, in Florida, you name it, they have a place like this. And the name of the place is similar to when you're working out and you're trying to reach a certain, I'm not going to say the name. I don't want to get sued for anything, right? Because this is for entertainment purposes only. but and educational purposes. But this company was like, I got a message from them one day. Let me just throw out some shade here or spill the tea. They text me one day. They're like, hey, boo, who the hell is this saying, hey, boo? Don't know who you are. This is so and so cosmetic group. We're just letting you know that we're having a sale and this discount and that. First of all, that's not professional. You don't text prospective clients or patients or whatever, hey boo. That's just a no-no. Then on top of that, very pushy with this promo and this like, you gotta get it now, $500 deposit, da da da. I had a client recently tell me that that company, that place, that group has been sued and, their work is not up to par. And I was gonna go there because they have awake procedures, right? I'm like, I could get a little bit of tightening here. I could get my little back fat and rolls removed and sculpted, get a little nipped and tucked, and do it while being awake because they say it's safer. But after I saw all that and heard all that, I said, they seem thirsty. So everybody, do not, I repeat, do not go in blindly. When you know what you're getting yourself into and you know the doctors, the group, it's clean, it's safe, and even with that, mistakes can happen. Allergic reactions can happen. So just be careful to put your life in someone else's hands for the sake of beauty. And I hate to say it, vanity. I am sure you're beautiful, you're handsome, you're amazing as you are. Do not overdo something. I know men are getting face work and I know people personally getting a lot of nip and tucking, men, female, them, theys, everybody is getting stuff done because it's more trendy, but just because it's more trendy doesn't mean that there aren't risks. Every time you go under anesthesia, if you didn't know, your hair is also affected because people that I've known for years coming in and out of the salon would get surgery and then they would start losing their hair. Weight loss medication, also from one of my first videos, podcast, I was talking about that. People's hair falls out a lot. It's a common thing. And someone after that podcast told me, yes, I was on X, Y, and Z, the Zepbound, Ozempic, and they had experienced hair loss. It is a thing. So make sure that you do your homework. And if they tell you you gotta have protein for these shots, eat your damn protein. Get sick of protein. You don't have to have chicken all day long. Get yourself some legumes, some plant-based protein, get some fiber, get some supplements in you, vitamins, hair, skin, and nail stuff. With anything you want to do in life, you got to do your homework, research it, and know what you're going to get yourself into. So if you're going to take anything away from today, let it be this. Beauty is evolving, but not every trend deserves your attention. Choose what aligns with you. Invest in quality over quantity. And don't be afraid to move differently, even if an industry that's constantly trying to tell you who to be. Even in an industry, right? Because that's the industry we're in. Because real beauty is not forced, it's intentional. So, thank you all for being here with me and Beauty Bears All. And I hope to see you all on my next episode. Thank you and good night.